All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, writer, producer, director, DJ, reality TV personality, Stan Zimmerman. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hi, everyone.
Before we get going, let me introduce you to everybody, starting off with our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey, Guy. How are you?
Hi.
Feeling good? You ready for a fun show?
I'm ready. Are you ready is the question.
Oh, I'm always ready. Every week I'm here, batting my balls against the wall, making everybody laugh. It's fun.
I like that imagery.
Yeah, well, we're unfiltered and uncensored, so you could say whatever you like.
Uh-oh, I can swear?
Yeah, you can say fuck anything you want.
Okay, there you go.
So relax, feel at home.
Then we got the man behind the boards, Mr. Chad Murphy.
Hey, welcome to the show. Good to have you.
Hi.
And then we have a chat room full of people, so say hello to the chat room, and literally they're from everywhere, every country on the planet.
Oh, I love all the countries. Hi, everyone.
There you go. We got to make sure we say hi. I think Goddess just joined us too, so we're like, hey, Goddess, what's up?
Hi, baby. How are you?
All right, so first of all, you're in California, right?
I'm in beautiful Southern California in Los Angeles, and I love it here. I miss New York, though. I grew up in Detroit, and then I went to NYU, and I really would like to get back to New York and hopefully with the play and kind of live there.
Not New York anymore. It's not. I'm born in Brooklyn. I'm a New Yorker.
I can hear it in your accent.
And I never lose it because I don't want to sound like a Californian. And I've lived in California since 1949 for a lot of years. I was a little kid. It's New York is not New York. It's not New Yorkers anymore. Everybody's from another planet or other countries or other states. They all think it's like Sex and the City. All these young people came. They want to wear $5,000 bags, fuck every cute guy that's in New York, which there are none, and never go to work. And never go to work.
That's true. Not when I go there.
No, they're all a bunch of skinny little queens, 25-year-old string beans with skin-tight pants. They look like they are suffering from consumption. I mean, it's no longer the hunky rock Hudson guys anymore.
That's why it's our job to feed them.
Feed them what?
I'm doing my part. I think you need to do yours a little more.
He's married. He can't feed them.
I'm married to Jimmy. Talk to me later.
Okay.
Dummy. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. But we'll talk when we're done with this. Yeah.
We'll talk later.
Yeah.
No, but they're all young and silly and whatever. But you won't find too many native New Yorkers like me. And the accents.
How do you feel about 42nd Street? Do you like 42nd Street is all cleaned up?
Oh, it still looks like shit.
He's talking about the cesspool. He's talking about the cesspool.
It's still a cesspool. It's just a little better dressed cesspool. But I mean, Disney took it over. How ridiculous! Walt Disney on 42nd Street. When I remember the theaters that were there with the great stars of yesteryear, Rudolph Valentino, Thelma, all those people, Vilma Banky, those people made 42nd Street wonderful in the 20s and 30s. And in the 40s, it started to turn to shit. In the 50s, it went totally porno and hustlers and cruising. That's
what he's talking about. How do you like it now that they got rid of all of that?
They didn't get rid of all of that. You can walk down 42nd Street. The hustlers just don't look like hustlers anymore. They're all skinny little
They look
things.
like Disney characters. When I was at NYU, it was scary to go from Broadway to 8th Avenue. Like you felt like you had gone through the trenches if you could make it all the way out to 8th Avenue alive. And it was frightening at the time. Not like that. It's not like that now.
I mean, I was used to it, so I was never frightened. But it's 8th Avenue with all the porno theaters and hustlers. It was really a nasty.
Sir, you're a New Yorker. You were raised with that. A little boy like me coming from the suburbs of Detroit, I had no idea what any of that was.
That's what Diana Ross said when she went to New York. Just a little girl from Detroit projects, and she didn't know from any of that. Now, how was she lying? I mean, Detroit, the projects. I mean, make 8th Avenue look like Disney World.
I got called to her house once, me and my writing partner, Jim Berg, because supposedly she was interested in doing a sitcom. And they said to us, they caught us in the car and they said, would you go up to her house? Well, you've never seen two queens drive faster through Beverly Hills to get to meet her. And we had a marvelous afternoon. I had so many questions for her, obviously. It was thrilling to meet her. Because as a Detroiter growing up with her.
Did she treat you well?
She did. She ultimately, I knew, was not going to do a sitcom, but I just had to have that experience, sitting down with her, and we've done that a lot. I'm going to write a book called The Girls from Golden to Gilmore, and a chapter is going to be about all the women that we met that thought they wanted to be the next Lucy. And so we would trek to their house, and like Diane Cannon, and they all wanted to have their own sitcom.
You have to interview Fran Drescher, because Franny, as a child, only watched I Love Lucy. Her mother said she was addicted to it. She watched it every moment that she could. She'd come home from school and watch it. And of course, the nanny was Lucille Ball. I mean, there's no question about it.
I worked on The Nanny for a nanosecond. We had a deal at Sony, and they had us come work on stories for once a week. And we would go out to Fran's beach house and got to hang out with her. And she's so lovely. And
I love her.
I worked with her ex-husband, Peter Mark Jacobson.
Yeah,
He's
been on
a sweetie.
they've both been on the show.
Yeah, I interviewed Fran because I came when we left Brooklyn, we moved to Astoria, Queens, and I lived one town away from her, which was Flushing. So we knew all the same stores, the same movie theater. We grew up basically in the same town. I find one thing about Fran Drescher: she's not a good interview. only because if she's wonderful when she's rehearsed. Mm-hmm. So I had to be very careful while I interviewed her and not throw anything at her that she couldn't handle. She sort of fumbles over things that she's not familiar with. And that's because she's an honest person. Liars can handle anything I throw at them because if they don't know it, they make it up.
You should get Donald Trump on your show.
I tried, actually.
I would love to get him on our show. I would love it.
Or Kellyanne, get her.
Hang on. Yeah. So I want to steer this a little bit because first of all,
I love Donald Trump. I know he's going to kill all the homosexuals, but I still love him.
Hey.
You're going to freak this guy out. All right, so hold on.
I heard him say you're first.
I actually met him briefly. I was writing on Gene Wilder's sitcom on NBC, and we had a stunt casting, Marla Maple. And he came, and he kind of held her purse, and there was a lot of Secret Service guys around him. And she was lovely, though. He
happens to be very nice. I spent some time with him in Mar-a-Lago. My very good friend Perry only married millionaire men, very rich, constantly. She had like 5 husbands. They, money. So
I need to do that.
Well, wait a minute. So we're living in Boca at the time, and Perry said to me, Ronald, darling, they're offering a $50,000 membership at Mar-a-Lago. Let's go up there and see if there's any men that I could possibly, all millionaire men. And she's this stunning Joan Collins type woman, stunningly beautiful, and only married rich men, so she knows all the bullshit to do with the darlings and all that crap. So we go up there, and we go into the library, and we're sitting there, and there's Donald Trump walking around talking to all the people who are potential members of this club. And he comes over to us, and we spoke with him, and he was very charming, very good looking, I have to tell you. This is some years ago. Not now. Now he looks like a I don't know, a turd. But years ago, he was really good looking. And he said to Perry and I, what would you like to drink? And I said, I would like a vodka with 4 olives, straight up. And Perry said, oh, darling, I'm thirsty. I'd like water. So she got water. Now we leave and we get in my car and we're driving back to Boca. And she screams, oh, my God, what the fuck is wrong with me? I said, Perry, what's the matter? He offers me what to drink and schmuck me. I say, water. I should have said, don't pay the own. So that was the whole evening for me. I was hysterical all the way home. And she was really pissed off. Schmuck I am. I ordered water.
Okay,
Anyway.
So here's what I want to do. First of all, because we've had several writers on who've written a hit movie or a hit something, but we've not really had writers who have so many hits that you can't really count them. There's so many of them, and so it's a little bit different. And you said you went to NYU.
Yes.
I'm also asking this a little bit as a personal question because I'm also a writer and I'm a best-selling author for little fiction shit, but not really cool shit like what you do. And so I would like to know, when you went to NYU, did you study writing?
No, I studied acting. I was going to be an actor. I always had crazy ideas in my head, but I wasn't a reader, so I didn't think I could be a writer. And so I went to New York. I started acting when I was 7 years old, and I thought that's what I was going to be, or at least I was going to be a gypsy on Broadway and dance. And I love dancing, and I got to be in the background with Rudolph Nureyev with the Joffrey for a month on Broadway. That was the closest I got to it.
That's quite.
But I met my writing partner at NYU, and in between classes and after school jobs, we started writing sitcoms because I grew up just loving sitcoms. And so he was a journalism major, I was an acting major. We kind of brought both of those
I love it. And so you were
together.
in risky business for like a second, right?
Yes, I was. Me and Mr. Cruz. I could have been Mrs. Tom Cruise, but I didn't play my cards right.
No, Tom would never have married you. She only marries very, very young boys.
Well, I the one
Oh, you
time,
were young?
The movie's 30 years old.
Yeah, but I don't know what the movie is. I wasn't.
Risky Business with Tom Cruise?
I wasn't
That's the one
born.
that made
I
him
wasn't
famous.
born yet. I was only a little boy.
he
Miss
actually
Cruz
came
likes
in-
the 18 and 19.
I was actually that age.
So Miss Cruz would have married you.
Yes, I was working in a casting office in New York right out of school, my last year in college, and he came in. He had just filmed Taps, and he had his hair all buzz cut.
Oh,
and
I love
literally, at that time, I was the first person to see him bounce on a couch. He was so excited to be in his first movie, and it was with Sean Penn, and it was like an amazing cast. And here was this little kid from the Midwest, and he was in a really big movie. And
Really
So
big
wait a minute.
movie.
He bounced you on the couch?
I wish, but he bounced himself. But you could just tell he just had a star quality and just a golly shucks, kind of air about him that you just knew he was going places. He was a good-looking kid, but he seemed like a really good person.
And she hides her gayness well.
We don't
I'm
know
not going to
that.
say anything. Yeah,
Oh, we don't know that. We know that.
No, he's not going to say that because he works with these people.
Right.
He can't say that.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
He's
Listen,
he's making me lunch right now. So
Hi, Tom.
listen to what
we've
I
got
have.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Listen to the next thing I have to say, and this is I
Okay.
really feel strongly about. The fact that people have to hide the fact that they're gay means they're ashamed, and that stinks. Every gay person in Hollywood, I knew Rock Hudson for a long time. Okay? I went out with one of Rock Hudson's friends, George Nader. Okay, before George went out with his dad. They hid their gayness. They were so terrified. If we ever went I was with George more than Rock. Anywhere we went, Nader would say, "Don't sit so close. Go over there. Let's do that." It's a hell of a life. There's nothing wrong with being gay and being an actor. So Tom Cruise should come forward and say, "Yeah, I'm gay. Big deal. Now let's go see my movie." What is it to you? What my sexuality? Who gives a shit?
It should be that way, but it's not. When I first came here, I had to hide the fact that I was on writing staffs because it was all male, very sports oriented. And so our agent said, if you go to a function for the TV shows, and this was on Golden Girls even, the first season, everyone thinks it's the gayest show. But at the beginning, the people on staff didn't know we were gay. So we couldn't say where we were at Studio One during the weekend. We had to. You had to lie. And Estelle Getty was the first one that kind of came to us and outed us. She pulled us behind the set the first day on the set, and she said to us, "You're one of us." And I thought she meant Jewish, but she meant gay, because she kind of considered herself gay because of all of her friends from Torch Song and Harvey. And then we became fast friends after that. We like, but don't tell anybody yet.
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
That's what
But
she said.
luckily, that has changed a lot on writing staffs, but it's still,
Taboo in the acting.
it's a homophobic industry, and I'm sure you've heard the stuff about our sitcom that we're wanting to do Silver Foxes, as I'm looking at two handsome silver foxes right in front of me.
He would
And
be great for Dorothy.
Everybody is driving me crazy. Everybody is tweeting me, "You should be Dorothy. You look like Dorothy. You sound like Dorothy.
Which it
You're
wouldn't be
tough like
Dorothy, it'd
Dorothy."
be something else.
I would be a gay guy from Brooklyn who has a wise ass mouth, which is who I am.
that's
I
what
wouldn't
this
even have
is.
to act.
it's
I could just
for
read.
guys.
I would read lines. I wouldn't even act. But anyway, I think it would be a riot.
It's
But
a
I
very
must say-
funny show, and we did a great reading right here in my living room with George Takei and Leslie Jordan and Bruce Valanche and Todd Sherry and Melissa Peterman from Baby Daddy and Sherry O'Terry and Danielle Gaither. And we're still having a hard time selling it because of ageism is alive, and anybody can talk about it and say it literally to my face. The gay part is a little more whispered because we have made strides in that area, but that still is an issue with why there are not more gay TV shows on.
You mean Hollywood?
Yes.
Well, thank God it's not the Hollywood I know. It must be the other Hollywood that I am not a part of, because the Hollywood that I know would support this show. Listen, Fran Drescher and I had a long talk off camera privately, and it was about her happily divorced. Okay,
Yeah.
it wasn't the best show. It wasn't really written that great, and it wasn't photographed. It kind of had a corny look to it, but it was a good start. And in time, they would have perfected it like all all sitcoms. They stink in the beginning. First 6 episodes are rough. Then they work it out. She was kicked off the air to put on the other show that failed in 2 weeks with what's her name, Allie, who kept eating, and they couldn't stop her from eating until they didn't find a lens big
Yeah.
enough to capture Allie.
He knows all these people. He knows
Of course,
exactly what you're talking
I know
about.
them too. I know them too. That's why I could tell her, Allie, knock off the food. I hear now she's like 400. But anyway, so they took Fran's show off the air.
And they shouldn't have. It's a great premise. It have really good actors.
It could
Great
have gone.
actors.
It could have gone so far. It was a wonderful concept. I fought it with Mark, Mark Jacobs, and
Peter.
we fought it together. And I fought it for Fran. Everybody out in the chat room and all over the country
We were blasting it all over the
remembers
place to try
how
to get
I
it brought
was
back together.
fighting the network to get that show on the air.
Didn't help.
It didn't
But we
help.
tried. We made a big stink.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
you can help with Silver Foxes because Netflix and Hulu, which is streaming Golden Girls now, and Amazon are all reading it. And I want them to know that people like us have a voice. And like Golden Girls, it won't just attract older people. Golden Girls had a demo from young kids through college to older people.
Absolutely. Everybody.
People to just forget that. They think, and I've had people literally tell me this to my face, you have old characters, only old people are going to watch. And I say, where has that ever been proven? So this whole thing has become very political for me now.
Can I tell you something?
Tell me.
I have over 16,000 fans. Guess their ages.
Probably all ages.
No.
No?
I get stuff like, I wish you were my dad. I wish you were my grandfather. I wish I knew you. You're so funny. I wish I could hang out with you. I wish we could be friends. I love your show. I love all your crazy shit and your cursing and all that stuff. I'm 77 years old, and I've got all young people.
He's got his Twitter. He's got 20,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah,
20-something thousand. They're all like under 35.
You know why? Because the old bags don't know how to get on the fucking screen. They don't know how to get our show. How many times I have to? How do I see your show? I don't know how to get on. Well, you moron, here, and they still don't know. What does it mean? What are you talking about? Click on IT.
I think though you're getting on a lot of platforms that have a voice, because I know that like you talked about it on Howard Stern. I think that everybody should be like attempting to help with it, because it would be a groundbreaking show that everybody really like enjoy. I think you can email me any ideas you have like that you need like little people to help carry out, and we can like do a lot behind the scenes. And that way, in cases we do anything that like upsets you, people won't know it was you.
No, I'm very, very in the gay community, and I know. Especially now that we're moving back to Palm Springs. I had a TV show out in California for a couple of years called Set the Record Straight. Maybe you know of it. I had the major stars: Jane Russell, Lauren Bacall, Tab Hunter, all the biggie, Cliff Robertson, all the major old Hollywood people. Most were my friends. The others I didn't know, and I did a good show. That made me very popular in Palm Springs. Now, everybody thinks Palm Springs is full of old John. Yeah, there are a few old queens around that I know, but majority are young men from 25 to 30. Go to Wang's and go in the back of Wang's. You see they're all young. So we need these young people to go with you to support.
We set the show in Palm Springs, and I was just at D23, which was a Disney Expo last Friday.
Video.
Girls. And when they said Silver Foxes, I was shocked. There was a roar in the crowd, and these were all ages. They had heard about this controversy in the show, which is so great because it's gone from Howard Stern to the National Enquirer. Now it's gone international. And so I'm hoping to get all our voices together to say our voices count, and we are loved by all ages, and you will get an audience.
Absolutely. I have just to let you know, which it's okay. I'm sure you'll be okay with it.
And
But
to be truthful,
hang on, let me finish,
sorry.
please.
Yeah.
In the chat room, we have Eileen Shapiro. She's actually my partner. We have a really big PR firm, but she, for free, she just wrote in there that she'd love to. She writes. She's a regular columnist for the Huffington Post and Get Out, which is the only gay magazine in New York City that's left. That's actually a physical magazine, and she said she wants me to forward you her information so she can interview about it and get it in the Huffington Post and Get Out magazine.
I would love that. Thank you for connecting us.
Yeah, she's really cool. She's the best.
Just the fact that we've been talking about your show, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and kidding around. Everybody in the chat room said, "Oh, you'd be a perfect Dorothy," and I thought, Jesus Christ, do I look like her?
Well, it's not a reboot. They're very different characters, but the essence of the show, yes.
They see me and they think of her. And most people thought I looked like Tony Curtis, which was okay. But who wants to look like? I mean, she was the what do they call them in the parade, the gay pride parade? A couple of years ago in Palm Springs, maybe 10 years ago, she was the chief.
Grand Marshal. Grand Marshal. There you go. Thanks, Stan.
And
that's what I'm here for.
She's as tall as I am. She's as big as I am, and she could look like my sister. So yeah, there was.
And her toes were probably hairier than yours.
Probably.
She never wears
shoes.
You're right.
You know why?
Why?
She had neuropathy in her feet. That was terrible.
Okay.
And she wore the littlest pressure from a shoe would kill her.
You know that we watch the Golden Girls. He watches it every night to fall asleep. Like it's on TV from like 11 to 1 every night, and we watch it in the reruns. We've seen them 50 times each.
Oh, thank you for watching it.
And we watch all of them. So
it's probably the best writing.
That's him.
Thank you.
You were one of the writers on that?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't research anybody. You know that.
Thanks a lot. Come on.
No, I never research a guest because I don't want it to be rehearsed. I like it like the audience doesn't know, I don't know. So we learn together.
Yes, I was there the first season, so we were exploring and discovering all the great things that those actors could do, like that Betty White was so funny telling St. Olaf stories, so that's why we kept going back to that. Or when we realized that B. Arthur didn't even need a joke. All she had to do was shoot a look, and people would roar. And that was, so that's why you see so many reaction shots from her. And then when they just started doing reaction shots of all of the actors, and we had a laugh spread. So we had to keep editing the show because they're laughing so long with these four amazing women together in one show.
That's because B. Arthur was from New York.
Let me do some bragging.
All New Yorkers give faces. We all give you the look.
Let's do some bragging, everybody. Okay, first of all, you guys, so Stan Zimmerman has a partner. His name is James Berg. Correct me if I get anything wrong, because I just wrote little notes down. You guys' company is Zimmerman and Berg. Some of the things that you guys have written for the Golden Girls, Gilmore Girls, which goes to your book, From Golden Girls to Gilmore Girls. I got that. Right. Brothers, Fame, Hooperman, Something Wilder. You have 2 WGA, which is the Writers Guild of America nominations. He also wrote the Brady Bunch movies, correct?
Yes.
Very good, very good.
Thank you.
And
Roseanne, we did the lesbian kiss episode. We were on that whole season, and we were lucky enough to be in that very, very, at the time, groundbreaking moment, because ABC would not air a couple-second kiss between Roseanne and Mariel Hemingway. And God bless Roseanne and Tom Arnold. And they offered that if ABC wouldn't do it, they would buy the show back and buy time on HBO to air the show. And luckily,
I love
yeah, so I have to tip my hat to the two of them. They really have been in the trenches of LGBTQ causes. And but luckily ABC did air the episode, and it paved the way, for Ellen and Will and Grace and other shows like that.
I'd like to know who hires the idiots at Time Warner Cable. The people, what are they all, Christians or something, or narrow-minded, horrible people? I interviewed Jane Russell as my first show. I asked her to do it for me as a favor, and she said, sure on. And I asked her, what size bra were you in 1940? And she said 36B. I said, so you were never a 42 double D? She said, no, I was never a cow. She said, and that's my set the record straight question. I want to clear it up. I was a 36B. I don't want to be known for my boobs. Well, the office called me in, and they were furious that I asked her such a question. How vulgar. I said, vulgar? I could have asked her if she shaves her pussy. I said, that would have been vulgar. That's vulgar.
Does she?
Well, I never looked.
Okay.
She was my friend. I never made love with her, but she was my buddy for a long time. Love
Okay,
Jane.
so hold on. So I want to go. So now you have two shows that you write for now currently, right? Well, you probably have more than that, but two that
I'm directing a lot of theater, but I have 2 web series: Skirt Chasers with Barry Bostwick and Sex and Execs. And Mindy Sterling, the great Mindy Sterling from Austin Powers, got an Emmy nomination for our little web series on Telefilm, which is the only lesbian content website on alive. And we got our first nomination for Tello and for Mindy, and we're very, very, very excited. And
congratulations.
So keep your fingers crossed for her. She's been a dear, dear friend, and I've done many theater pieces with her. We're going to revive a play we did in the spring where she plays my mother, who's dealing with dementia, and that's a 2-character play about my mother and her relationship with my longtime housekeeper.
So hold on, let's go back. So first of all, you guys, like, because after I started tweeting with you, like a lot of your different people that are in your shows all started following me. As a matter of fact, I got the guy who's on Parks and Recreation now. I apologize, I forgot his name. He started following me today, and
he's fantastic. I met him on Rita Rocks, a sitcom I did with Nicole Sullivan on Lifetime. And he came in to do a 1-page scene, and he was so fantastic. We kept bringing him back for more episodes, and then he was at the reading. He played the twink in our Golden Girls.
Yeah, because he's the youngest one.
Yes, he thinks he's a twink in his head, and none of the other characters know his first name because he's their friend Jerry's latest twink. And
there you go.
They're all scared to, say the wrong name.
So go back to Sex and Exec. So congratulations on Sex and Execs, you guys, and you can watch it online and tell people where they can see it.
At telefilms.com, we have Sandra Bernhard, Olivia Dabo from The Wonder Years. We have Bane Gibby from Enlightened and The Comeback. We got a great cast, and it's about kind of an upstairs, downstairs, but it takes place in an office, and you see 2 points of view, the bosses and their assistants, the same day, but from 2 points of view.
I actually, Chad.
Good concept. How
Chad,
are you going to handle Sarah Bernhardt?
Sandra Bernhard.
I know
We've been friends a long, long time before Roseanne, but we actually developed a TV show for her for Showtime called Sandra Bernhard Trapped in a Movie of the Week. And each week she was going to get trapped in a horrible movie of the week. We wrote a script, but it never went anywhere. But I adore her, and
I do too. I love her. She's fabulous.
I'm so grateful that she, did a little part in our show.
Actually, Eileen, who's going to interview you now, she's interviewed Sandra Bernhard a zillion times. I know that for a fact because I read some of them. So hold on. So Chad.
Hi, Captain.
I pulled the trailer for Sex and Execs. Do you have that?
I do.
Okay, so Stan, you introduce it, and it's only like 2 minutes. And hang on, we're going to play it so everybody can see it, and then after that, we'll come back and talk some more about some more of your stuff.
Think about The Office now. This is the new Office kind of show.
Good idea.
Thank you.
We could talk right.
We can keep talking about it. We filmed it literally for $25,000.
The information that you don't want people to know because right now we're not on.
Okay.
You're
He's playing. We're just talking there. He's actually
so
playing
we can
it for
say
everybody.
whatever we want.
Why is this not playing? Huh, for some reason it doesn't want to play.
Uh-oh, really?
Are we on the
Has
air
everybody
all
been
the
listening to us this whole time?
Well, he started talking a little bit about it, and then he said you're not on the air. You were supposed to introduce it, but all right.
Oh, he said here, it doesn't want to play. Really? See if you can find it on YouTube and just play it directly off YouTube, Chad.
Exactly.
Well, we'll keep talking while you work on it.
People like these screw-ups because they think they got to hear something that they weren't supposed to. Everybody loves that.
So you made it for $25,000?
Yes. I mean, that's what's so great about working in web series is that you don't have the levels that you do in network television of studios and networks telling you what to do. It's literally Kristen Baker, who owns Telefilms, greenlit it one Saturday afternoon. I called her back. I said, so I'm making this? And I got to direct all 6 episodes. And it's a great way to make a pilot without the interference. You get to cast who you want, film it how you want, and then hopefully we can get it to a bigger platform, like a Hulu or Netflix as well, and get some money.
Amazon Prime, maybe Amazon Prime.
Or even like NBC, all the major networks now have online component.
Right.
Yes.
So it's a very commercial piece because there's no great office comedy now. It would be a perfect piece. We've got a great cast that people know. And it's just a funny way of looking at it. I don't know if you've ever been a boss or an assistant. I've been both. And we thought it's such an interesting relationship that the assistants know everything about the boss, and
That's
the boss
right.
know nothing about the assistants. And yet you're with them all day.
That's true. Now, with a $25,000 budget, they have to be back end for sure.
Yes, there is. And a lot of people, they do it because, although even like when we did Skirt Chasers, we had Barry Bostwick, we had Meredith Baxter, they all really responded to the material, and they believe that there's a life to it after, and they wanted to also support LGBT.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. It's good.
Actually, too, Barry Bostwick started. I've met him several times.
Me too.
And he started following me after I started tweeting with you, and I was tweeting all kinds of stuff for. I saw all your Emmy nomination tweets that you guys were putting together, so I was retweeting all of them, hoping that they would see them. And,
well, thank you for helping, because we feel like the little engine that could. There's so much money behind. It's now a big business getting an Emmy nomination, and the others in Mindy's category are like Amazon and Funny or Die that has a lot of money, and we have no money. It is all social media based. So the fact that we snuck in and the 5 nominees against people like Jane Lynch, it's pretty amazing. So we're very proud of that.
But the anti-gay thing that you're talking about in Hollywood, I don't know who it is. I don't know anybody that's anti-gay anymore. Everybody that I know supports LGBT people and is very, very gay-friendly.
Just not the people who make the big decisions.
But you know why? Because they're not Hollywood people. They're probably corporate people or jerks from like Chicago that have millions of dollars and want to invest $10,000 in a film. Well, that's all they want to invest.
And people are fearful of their jobs. I had someone say, but it's 100% LGBTQ characters in the show, and I'm like saying, but would you ever say that about Blackish, that it's 100% black characters? You would never say that out loud, but it's still out there, and we have to combat it. It's just the reality. We think it's 2017.
I know what you're saying is true, but I'm finding it so unbelievable.
I think that what. There we go. Sex and Execs. Chad, were you able to get it or no? Chad?
I'm sorry. I can play it on the what do you call it? YouTube, but for some reason it's not playing on my what do you call it? Video.
What happens if you play it on the YouTube? Does it mess things up?
No.
Okay, let's try and play it.
We'll play it next week.
No, I want to play it. If you can play it, you can play it, Chad?
Through now.
You betcha.
It's gonna come through. All right, so actually do an introduction this time, Stan. Say, hey, this is the trailer for Sex and Execs, my show that I wrote, or whatever you want to do.
Okay, here's my web series, Sex and Execs, which is on telofilms.com, an office comedy behind the scenes of Cathletics, a women's athletic wear company.
Oh, welcome back from maternity leave.
I missed you terribly, Leslie. Oh, I have a zillion questions for you.
Fire away, Bob. I reviewed the winter issue mock-up, and I am fully up to speed.
When she comes back to work today, everyone pink-slipped.
No.
Yes. Another powerful woman trying to prove that she hasn't gone soft after giving birth.
You're fired.
If it's about the whole husband-wife thing, please know I'm not the least bit homophobic. In fact, I made out with a girl in college once.
Assistants are like children. We train them to be brilliant and punish them if they're anything less.
Do you have any idea what being an executive entails?
Duh. You arrive when you feel like it, return a few calls, take a 3-hour lunch, yell at people, then leave early to get more blonde highlights. I think I'd make an awesome exec.
I mean, we talk about them more than we do our significant others.
They are our significant others. I mean, think about it. They know everything about us. Social security numbers, our computer passwords, our real hair color.
Which days to pee in a cup for us so the court can check our alcohol levels.
What?
Your assistants don't do that?
Do you think I want to be some sad 60-year-old still making my boss's coffee?
Sorry, Sherlock.
Do you have any idea what it is like living your secondhand life? It sucks.
Jesus, Marlon, if it's about this guy, you can have him.
It's not about him compared to you. He means shit to me.
Well, he means even less to me.
You guys do know I'm still here, right?
Screw you.
I just want you to treat me the way you did before. You know, just because I've had a kid, it does not mean that my brain has turned into strained carrots. It's so hypocritical. Would you be treating a man like this? What is everybody staring at?
Honey, you're lactating.
Oh, God.
Us secretaries gotta stick together.
Administrative professionals. If we don't own it, who will?
Power to the 99%.
There you go. Sex and Exec.
So the one guy in this, he's wearing like a Nagel shirt.
There you go.
T-shirt with like all the pictures of Nagel on it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's Miguel Picon. And then that sexy guy in the stairwell is Matthew Smith, who was on Tyrus Banks' America's Next Top Model.
Okay.
And he's shirtless and sexy in the show. And he plays a hot IT guy who actually fools around with a guy and a girl.
There you go.
Well, you've got a hit show here.
Thank you.
This is funny. I mean, I don't laugh that often. And I laughed about 10 times in a row. You wrote this?
I co-wrote it with Jim Berg, and I directed all 6 episodes. And
you're a very funny man.
Thank
you're
you.
A very good comic.
Good,
good gay stuff. I don't like cheesy gay.
Me neither.
I'm not happy with dishy, cheesy drag queen shit. I like clever. No, I like clever, intelligent stuff like this. This is talks about the subject, talks about our lifestyle, but does it with humor and with style, and that I like. I'm glad it's not cheesy crap.
So let's go to Skirt Chasers real quick and give it a plug. Just give us a quick rundown. What's it actually about?
It's a father-daughter relationship, and they both are skirt chasers, and they both cheat on their spouses. They're very dark characters, but they are not friendly now, and they have to learn to kind of solve those issues by getting back together and dealing with each other. And Meredith Baxter plays the ex-wife, and the amazing Leah Delaria from Orange is the New Black she's a really great jazz singer. If you don't know her music, you should listen to it. And she did a great cover of I'm a Girl Watcher and our theme song, and we're so lucky that she would get involved in our little web series. So you should also listen to her music. She does a really cool version of Sweeney Todd, the Ballad of Sweeney.
Oh, I love that.
Like a jazz song. So people don't know that about her. So a lot of these people are just jumping into our programming and really helping us out. And so we're hoping that we can, keep going and make more episodes of all these shows.
I love it. So first of all, too, you guys, if you want to find out more that's going on with Stan, first of all, you should follow him on Twitter. It's at Zimmerman Stan instead of Stan Zimmerman. Just backwards it. Or flip it. Backwards it. That was terrible.
He makes up words, too. I love it.
And his website is zimmermanstan.com, which has so much incredibly great information of all the stuff he's been in and involved with and a part of. Also, I wrote down that you wrote for Emmy Magazine.
I did a little piece about that for them a while ago. I like to have my fingers in a lot of pots, so that's why I've been directing a lot of theater, and I did have DJ'd in the past at some clubs in LA, and so I love music. And
how come I never met you?
You've been avoiding me all my life. Well, why? I don't understand.
We travel the same paths. We know some of the same people. I lived in LA for years.
We'll travel down that road and back again, huh?
I don't know why I've never met you. I mean, you seem to be a Hollywood happening, and I was also.
I'm going to sing the song from Golden Girls now.
You know what it probably? No, you know what it probably is.
And you don't want me to sing, trust me.
No, it's probably the age difference, because I was happening in Hollywood in the late 60s, 70s, and 80s, and you were probably way too young. So we missed by generation.
Let's go with that, yeah. Okay.
Well, you're not 77 years old. That's why I'm with all the old bags. Tippy Hedgen's my friend. I hate to say these things. I can't wait to get out there to see Tippy to tell her get rid of the white hair and that short haircut. She looks like an old lady. She's got to go back to her beautiful blonde page boy.
Did you meet Esther Williams?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I met her at Clive Davis's house in New York, and I remember she cornered me and she was like, "Can you write me a part on Golden Girls?" And I had to tell her, like, that's been canceled years ago. But she was such a sweetheart, and I love watching her clips of her movies.
Esther had a little bit. We couldn't tell Esther Williams that Jane Russell died because she would have blown away. Esther, at the very end, I spoke with her husband for like an hour, and he said, "Please, Ron, don't ever mention that." The other one died too. The one from the pizza parlor with the two girls. Oh,
Laverne.
Laverne Shirley, who played the older girlfriend to the pizza guy. Fabulous actress. She was with Frank Sinatra in Ships Ahoy or whatever.
Betty Garrett.
She died.
Listen to him, boy. He knows this. He's good.
Ding,
ding, ding, ding.
I know them too. I just don't have a memory.
I know, but the fact that the reason I say that is because most of the time we have people on and he'll ask them, do they know Jane Russell or do they know these different people, and they don't know who it is. So the fact that you know everyone.
Betty Garrett was Esther's. Did you ever meet Betty?
No, I always wanted to, and she did a lot of play. I would
sweetie
love
pie. She and Esther were like sisters because they made a lot of films. And when Esther died, when Betty died, no one would tell Esther because Esther was getting senile, and she was fearing death like you can't believe. She would talk about, "I'm old, I'm going to die soon. I don't want to. All my friends are dying." Well, she found out about Jane and flipped out, and guess what? She died not long after Jane. So my whole crowd is gone. Do you know Harlan Bolt?
No.
No,
Harlan? No.
Harlan.
No.
Good tall guy. He handles all of them. All of the old girls, the real golden girls. I mean, I did Arlene Dahl, another beauty, still stunning. And so, it was a great era, that time of glamour when Hollywood was Hollywood.
That's okay, because we're going to move to Palm Springs soon, and when we move there, then we'll invite you for one of our dinner parties, and then you can come.
We have good friends you'll know most of them. And, this celebrity value, whatever. They don't work anymore, like Kay Ballard, people like that.
I love Kay Ballard. The mother-in-laws, I've been trying to redo the mothers-in-laws for years.
He would do it in a minute. She's dying to go back to work. Kay would jump on
means
that.
You use different people.
Huh?
Redo
Oh,
means
no, you couldn't. You'd have to use Kay Ballard. That was her. No, where are you going to get the crazy Italian screaming lady? No.
Right there. Right here.
Yeah, right.
Drag, right?
He used to.
I used to impersonate.
He impersonated Jane Russell for 50 years.
No, not 50 years.
Okay, for a long time.
42 years.
For 40 years in straight clubs, he had a routine and he dressed up
New York.
All over New York. And as
isn't it weird?
You should see how he looks too. He looked gorgeous.
I want to see pictures.
I'll tweet one to you.
Yeah, and it's so funny how I met Jane, and we became the best of friends. And I always studied her face and her makeup, of course, to look like her. And I'm in the centerfold of a coffee table book called Persona. And I'm in a bathtub with suds, and there are my tits floating, and I'm looking so Jane Russell. Well, the tricks. And I showed it to Jane, and I said, "I hate this picture. I'm so sorry they put it." And Jane looked at me, she said, "I wish I looked." And I said, "God, I can't believe this. No one would ever believe this if I repeat it. You wish that you looked as good as me?" I said, "For fucking 40 years I've been trying to look like you." And the both of us went hysterical.
You know what?
She did confess to me. She said, "You make a beautiful woman, but a much handsomer man."
Oh, that
was sweet. That was sweet.
You know what you should consider doing? And I don't know, people do it a lot of times to help big causes or whatever. And I don't know if you would want to do it because I don't know who you would pick out to do. But if you did a Thunderclap campaign, like I was involved with a Thunderclap campaign that got 100 million votes. Of people supporting different things. And if you got like a Thunderclap campaign to Netflix or to Hulu or to somebody, and had it, to invest and bring this show to thing, you could probably get 50 million people to join it.
We thought about it as a last resort to do something like that or a Kickstarter. I'm hoping that Netflix or Hulu are smart enough to see they could make a lot of money and get a lot of attention. I see the headlines, Hulu comes to the rescue of silver foxes. And,
Well, if you get to the point where you're ready to do that, let me know, because I got like a whole team of Thunderclapper people who can really help to get it out there.
Did you shoot a pilot yet?
No, we just had the script and we did a reading in my living room.
But you need the pilot.
Yeah, so that's the next step.
Don't hear anymore. They have to see. They're all stupid today. Years ago, they could hear a script and see it in their minds. Today, they don't see anything. They have to see it. It's terrible today.
That's why I did the reading instead of just handing the script in. I wanted people.
The reading won't go anywhere because they're going to say, "Oh, you know as well as I know. The voice can just go so far. But if I do, it tells it all."
Nobody knows what you do.
No, but that's like that's a stupid look. That was like stupid. Like, that tells it all. He's stupid. You don't need a script. So I would love to see your pilot. I think that we could run it. We would probably put it on our show. We have a TV network. We're on, what are we on, Roku?
Yeah, we're on Roku.
We're on Roku. And we gladly put your pilot on Roku. Serious, because
but anything we can do to help,
people
basically.
would go in to see it. You'd be all over the world on Roku.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys' help.
Well, I'm not doing it for you so much. I like you, but I don't know you that well. I'm doing it.
After all I've done for you?
Well, the sex was good, but the breaking up was heartbreaking.
It always is. It always.
I'm doing it for all of the gay people in the world. I'm an old guy. I was around when we weren't allowed to be gay. Okay, when we got arrested for being gay. And I've seen it all turn around, and I've seen it all get better and better and better. And I want to see it really get better before I kick the bucket. And I want to see this television show, Silver Foxes, running somewhere, because it's got to be hilarious with Bruce Valance and the other fellas that are in it. And, of course, with this incredible comedy writer.
And your cameo.
Yeah, and my cameo. Yeah, coming in drag as
Jane
Maud.
Russell. Yeah.
No, not as Jane Russell, as Dorothy.
Okay.
So first of all, then, here's one more time, everybody, because we got to move on. We want to follow at Zimmerman Stan on Twitter. Check out ZimmermanStan.com. I want to give a shout out and a thank you to Mona from ILDK Media who helped facilitate this whole thing. And I normally don't like to mention other PR firms since I have one, but I want to say that she's really A-notch. She's got a great clientele and very, very impressive, the people that she's working with in the gay community, doing a lot for the gay community and people who are gay, who are out. And so I want to just give her props for that. And we want to thank you for coming on the show. And any help that you need, you've got my email. I'm going to send you an email hooking you up with Eileen and get you some more interviews that'll help get the things moving some more. And we just want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. Can't wait to meet you in person in Palm Springs.
Yes,
absolutely.
and I'm going to push your show through all of my gay channels. And these I know some queens that are really high power queens in the business. You know how many queens that we know that are executives to everything, but they don't help us, those son of a bitches? I'll blackmail them. No, I will. I'll say, if you don't put this show on the air, I'm going to tell everybody that you were a prostitute.
There you go.
A cheap one, too. A $5 number.
I like the way you think. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You were very nice. Delightful guest.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you soon in Palm Springs. Bye-bye.
Everybody liked him a lot. Chad, wasn't
sweet.
that fun?
He's nice. Gay people are so nice. Why are people bad to gay people? We're such nice people.
And he's really got some, when you say credits, he's got major
credits. I don't give a shit about his credits. I saw his show. It's funny as hell. That little clip that we saw, I was laughing 10 times in a row. You know me, I never laugh. I hate everything.
Everybody liked it. So glad you guys liked it. Chad, how's everything on your end, okay?
All good here. I thought Ron hated people.
I know he hates people, but he liked this people.
We're getting them back.
I hate bad people that write bad reviews about me.
That makes sense.
But he was
people
a nice
that say I'm stupid and a jerk and I talk too much. But that's how I used to make my living. I was going to say that's how I make my living, talking. What a lie that would. Jimmy, when are we going to get a sponsor?
Just one.
Show 5 years. I would like to get paid.
Okay, so go find.
It's not my job. I'm talent. I'm not the producer.
That's why we don't have.
You're the producer, for Christ's sake.
All right, so Chad, let's take a music break.
Hopefully these videos play okay.
All right, well let's try. Let's see if the Ricky Rebel Boys and Sometimes Girls ones will play.
No such words. Ones.
Okay, well. All right, everybody. So we're going to see if we can get these videos to play. This is Ricky Rebel. The name of the song is Boys and Sometimes Girls. Hit it, Chad.
Roger that.
Ayo, DJ. Turn that up. You want what I've got, don't try to fake it. You want what I've got, why don't you take it? You like the way I move and the way I do my thing. You treat me like Britney, yeah, you want a piece of me. You wanna get with me, welcome to my world. I like the boys, and sometimes girls. And sometimes girls, they get me kind of hot. I like the way they work the pole, like it's a spot. I know it's kind of kinky, I know it's weird, but I'm the kind of gay guy that likes girls to touch my rear. You wanna get with me, this is how I roll. I like the boys, and sometimes girls. I can't stop till I get to the top. I know it's wrong, and I know I'm a freak. And hey guys don't understand me. Some girls, they just wanna fuck me. It's such a freaky problem that I thought I've always liked it both ways, and maybe that's why I'm unique. You wanna get with me, you better know I like it all. I want the boys, and sometimes girls. If you wanna get with me, you gotta give me the world. I like the boys, and sometimes girls. sometimes girls. 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 You wanna make out girls? Boys, 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 boys. What, you and your boyfriend? That's right. Girls. Girls. Okay, I'm down. Boys, he's cute. Boys, 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 boys. A little closer. Boys, girls, boys, girls, boys, girls, boys, girls. And sometimes girls.
There you go, Ricky Rebel.
Hey, everybody. That's Ricky Rebel, you guys.
He's like one of my favorite people in the whole world. I love Ricky Rebel.
And that's Boys and Sometimes Girls, everybody. And he's got a new album coming out soon. It's going to be awesome.
You know,